Hello you guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today you guys, I'm going to be showing you how to apply your makeup in my step-by-step beginner-friendly tutorial using products that you probably already have. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do stay tuned. Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Today is Sunday, and so yeah, I figured let's go ahead and get this doggone video done, get this show on the road. And so with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So yeah, you guys, so the first thing you want to do when you're doing your makeup, the first thing you want to do is you're going to do some skin prep, making sure that your skin is ready for makeup. Now, I've already washed my face, so what I need to do next is go ahead and add some moisturizer, some sunscreen, and a primer. The one that I'm going to be using today is the Paula's Choice Youth Extending Daily Hydrating Fluid, and this one has an SPF. This one has SPF 50. So let's go ahead and apply it. And you don't have to use a whole lot, you know. Depends on you. If you like a lot of sunscreen, then slather it on. If not, just do like I did. Just add just a little bit. You know, just a little bit to each finger and kind of rub it together and just rub it in. Now, always, always, always go up with everything that you're rubbing into your skin. Always. Because we're trying to lift up, not down. Because gravity is already pulling us down, right? Right. Okay. So next, y'all, we're going to go ahead and do this primer right here. I've been using this primer. This is actually a sample, but I am going to go ahead and order a full size. This is the Estee Lauder Futurist Aqua Brilliance Watery Glow Primer. And this is really, really good. Also, let me add, your primer is going to be based on, you know, your skin type. Well, your skin type and the type of foundation that you're using. I have dry skin, so this is a very good primer for dry skin. Y'all already know I use the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched primer, as well as the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. So this is new. This is new. This is new to my makeup regimen, but I've really been enjoying it. So yeah, let's go ahead and add your primer. So next, I do sometimes, not all the time, add the Cali Ray So Blown. It's the Cali Ray So Blown Clean Blurring Primer. I like to add this if you have pores or texture, which I do have a little bit right up in here and right up in here. This comes with age. I used to, you know, didn't have any of this stuff. You know, the older you get, it's inevitable. Listen, if you keep living, you're going to have, you know, you're going to age, and your skin is going to be one of the first things that starts to show. So just go ahead and do whatever it takes for your skin to stay youthful looking as long as you possibly can. Step 2, we're going to go ahead and add our foundation. The foundation that I'm going to be using today is one of my favorites. This is the Hourglass Illusion. Wait a minute. The Hourglass Illusion Luminous Glow Foundation with sunscreen. And that is with SPF. This one has SPF 50 as well, I believe, y'all. Let me see. So I'm well protected because I have SPF 30. So this one has SPF 30. So I'm well protected with my sunscreen, baby, because I have a regular sunscreen. Now, never, ever, ever substitute your makeup products for your actual sunscreen. However, it doesn't hurt to add more. So I'm going to go ahead and add some foundation. Now, I like to add this to the back of my hand. And then I just take some and just go ahead and add it to my face. Now, I chose this foundation because, you know, sometimes I don't have to, but I choose to use a lighter foundation for my cheeks and a darker for my perimeter. This one, I don't have to do that. I could just use it all over my face. That's why I chose it for this video, because it's just easier for me. Now, I'm going to use a brush because this is the way most people do it. And so, now I just like to use a sponge. I don't really use a brush. I like to use a sponge. But a lot of people, depending on how much coverage you want, a lot of people like to use a brush, which that's fine. You use a brush. The way that I would tell you to do it is to not just use a brush only, but to go ahead, use a brush. And then once you finish blending your, and always pounce. Don't do this. Just pounce. Once you finish using or finish applying your makeup with your brush, always go over it with a damp sponge to push your makeup into your skin. Now, we're not going to talk about, you know, undertone and matching your neck and matching this and matching that, because this video is just a step-by-step guide. For beginners. We will do another video where I will go into, and I'm just going to take the rest of that I had on my hand, where I will go into your undertone. My undertone is yellow. I have yellow and golden undertones, and my skin is warm. So that's how I go about matching my foundation. But like I said, we're not going to go into that right now. So you see I'm taking a damp sponge. Make sure when you wet your sponge, make sure you squeeze it out as much as possible. I'm taking a damp sponge, and I'm just going behind that brush and pushing that makeup further into the skin. And what that does, it soaks up whatever excess foundation you have on your skin. So, in case you've added too much, you know, it'll make your skin look more skin-like, and, you know, your skin won't look cakey. One thing I cannot stand is for my skin to look cakey, so that's why I always use a damp sponge. All right, you guys, so next we are going to go into concealer. Now, the concealer that I'm going to use today, and this is just for time, you know, to save time, because you can also, as you can see, I do have some darkness here. Now, I like to do my foundation first because we've already cut down on some of the darkness. So I would not really need a corrector. However, sometimes I do go ahead and use a corrector. It depends on if I'm going to highlight my under eye or if I want a lot of brightness. If you want a lot of brightness, you want your under eyes to be matching your skin as much as possible, because you don't want this to add a bright highlighter and then, you know, you get grayness showing through the bright, whatever the highlighter or whatever concealer you use. You don't want grayness or darkness showing through that. And to ensure that that doesn't happen, that's what correctors do. They help to get your skin, to get those dark circles, eliminate those dark circles as much as possible. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the Dior. This is one of my favorite concealers. This is the Dior Forever Correct Concealer, and this one is in the shade 3 Warm. I find myself not really having to use a color corrector most times when I use this, because it is peachy enough to where I don't have to worry about doing that. So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to let that sit. Now, this is the way I do it. I let it sit so that it can be as opaque as possible. I find that if you know, apply the concealer and then immediately begin to blend it in, it just blends away and it does not work as well as if you let it sit. So we're going to let that sit. While we're letting that sit, we're going to go ahead and add bronzer. I like to add bronzer and then blush. And I'm going to be using liquid or cream bronzer, and then I'm going to set it with a powder bronzer, because when you do it that way, it always lasts longer, in my humble opinion. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our bronzer. So we're going to do cream bronzer first. I'm going to use one of my favorite cream bronzers. It's going to be, this was so dirty, because I had it for a while. But this is like my favorite, my #1 cream bronzer. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate cream bronzer in Intensity 2. I also have Intensity 1, but we're going to be using Intensity 2 today, since I have a tan. In the wintertime, I use Intensity 1. I could use Intensity 1 now, but I really want to use this one because I want it to really show really well for you guys. A more affordable alternative to this would be the Danessa Myricks. I think this is called the Balm Contour. And I have medium 1, 2, and 3. Either one of those, or whatever shade you wear. But if you're my complexion, or if you're near or close to my complexion, those are the shades that I would use. Medium 1, 2, and 3 in the Balm Contour for Danessa. Okay, y'all, so the brush that we're going to use to add our cream bronzer is going to be the Makeup by Mario brush. And this is the, I think this says 54. It's the dual-ended brush. 54. Wow. Oh, y'all know what? I am so blind. This says F4, not 54. All right, so let's go ahead and add our cream bronzer. I'm going to tap in with the smaller end of the brush, and I'm going to tap some of it off on the back of my hand. And then I'm just going to go in to the hollows of my cheeks. And I like to go right below my cheekbone. My cheekbone is right here, right? So I like to go right here. And since my face is kind of an ovally type of shape, I like to go straight across. Some people go down at an angle. I like to either go straight across. Sometimes I go down just a tap, but most of the time you'll see me going straight across. So let's go ahead and blend that in. Okay. And you can take it up, of course, on your forehead if you like to use bronzer on your forehead. I really don't, because the way that I style my hair, I don't really, I can't. So I don't really use bronzer on my forehead unless I have my hair, in a style to where it's off of my forehead. So let's go ahead and do the other side. And that's the same exact way that you did your right, you're going to do to your left side. And you don't have to be heavy-handed with this. Okay. Now, I'm looking at this side. To me, this side looks like it has more product than this side. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to press down a little bit harder just to, because there's plenty of product in this brush. So I don't really need to go back into the bronzer. So you see how when I pressed down a little harder, it did go ahead and add more product for me. Okay, and so now what we're going to do, because I like for my bronzer, I don't like my bronzer to come all the way over like this. I'm going to take my same brush that I used for my foundation, and I'm just going to go around that area. Okay. All right, that looks good. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to my concealer, and I'm going to blend it out. The brush that I'm going to use for my concealer, I have two. Well, actually, I have three. You want to use a brush that's kind of dense. I love these two. Now, this brush right here is really not that dense. I like it, but I prefer something that's a little bit more dense. And I'm going to show y'all another trick that is even better than using a dense brush. So let's go ahead and blend it out. I like to go ahead and start right in the corner of my concealer and bring it over. Now, you know, if you're going to, even if you're not going to use any eyeshadow, but this is just to even out my eyelids so they won't, you know, just look just a different color than the rest of your skin. Okay? All right, let's do the same thing to the other side. Taking the excess from the concealer and placing it onto your eyelids just to kind of prepare your eyes for eyeshadow, or just to have your eyes looking, you know, just to make your eyelids look the same as the rest of your face. Okay? Now, I have a trick for y'all. I like to take my powder puff and press. I don't even have any concealer, any powder on here. But what this does, it just gives any creases that that concealer may have caused. All right, so next let's go ahead and set that cream bronzer. Now I have two bronzers to choose from. I have I'm just trying to show y'all inexpensive, you know, affordable option and a luxury option. So y'all know I have a lot of bronzers, okay? So what we're gonna do, this is the more luxury option. This is the Dior in the shade 40 Deep. That's one alternative. This is kind of like a more affordable option. This is the Kimchi bronzer, and this is the shade I went to Maui. I'm sorry, I went to Bali. I went to Maui too. This is the Juvia's Place Bronzed Bronzer, and this one is in just the shade Tan, and it has two in here. And then lastly, I'm going to recommend the MAC, and I love this one. I don't even know if they still sell it, but it's great. It is the MAC Refined Golden Bronzing Powder. So y'all, this is such a hard decision for me to make. I don't even know which one I want to use. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let's see. So I think I want to use this one. So this one is kind of hard pan. So we're not going to use this one because, see, I need to. And see, we just don't have time for that. So we're not going to use that one, y'all. I may use this one. This is the Juvia. Yeah, let's go ahead and use the Juvia. Let's go into this one right here, this top shade. And this is a Sonia G brush. This one is the Niji Pro. And I'm just going to tap right where we put that cream bronzer. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And always tap off the excess. Excess. Okay. Okay. See that Juvia is, ooh, it's pretty pigmented. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. Go back around the edges with my foundation brush. You can use your sponge as well for this. So we've done our bronzer. Let's go ahead and do the next step, which is going to be blush. We're going to do the same way. We're going to do cream blush, and then we're going to set it with a powder blush. So the cream blush that we're going to use today, y'all, I have 3 to choose from. No, I have 2 to choose from. So I have the Nessa Myricks in the shade Spice Latte. Then I also have the Rare Beauty in Virtue. They are not the same, kind of similar, but Spice Latte is, to me, I believe, have a little bit more brown in it. Y'all, please excuse my fingernails. I need to get my nails done. I don't get them done that much. I'm trying to do better, though. I said I was going to maybe give me some press-ons, because y'all, I don't like sitting in the nail shop all day. I don't. All right, so this is the Rare Beauty and Virtue. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. I think we're going to go with the Nessa. All right, keep in mind, y'all, you don't have to use cream and then powder. I'm doing this because this makes your makeup look, or your makeup application, to me, last a lot longer. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply the Spice Latte. Now you can use, several different type of brushes. The type of brushes I like to use for cream blush are dense brushes like these. This is for BK Beauty, both of them. This is the this is the 108, and this is the 109. We're going to use the 108, and I'm just going to take it, right? And then I'm going to just go right on the apples of my cheeks. And I show y'all all the time how to get makeup on your apples of your cheeks. You like your makeup up here at the top, that's fine. But if you want your blush to go on the apples of your cheeks, which is most ideal for most face shapes, you want to just do a little smirk, just like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our cream blush. Now, depending on the blush shade, you can start at the top. Wherever you start is where you're going to apply the most product. Keep in mind, since this blush here is kind of like a muted beigey type of blush, I went ahead and started right on the apples of my cheeks. If this was a very pigmented pink, like a red or something that was really, really pigmented, I probably would have started up here and then worked my way down. But yeah, so that's what you want to do. And then you just start pouncing kind of like in a circular motion. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the other side. Same deal. Okay, then work your way up. All right. That looks really pretty. That Spice Latte is so pretty, y'all. Like, oh, I love that shade. If you are my complexion and you don't have it, what are you doing with your life? Virtue is pretty too, though. I love Virtue. Okay, so that is enough, because I don't want to, what they call it, develop blush blindness, because y'all know I love me some blush. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and blend that in a little bit more. And you kind of want to have it where your blush and your bronzer is showing you have your blush on top and your bronzer right underneath. I'm going to grab my, once again, same brush that I use for my foundation, and go around the edges of my makeup. All right, you guys. So next we're going to, and this is optional. You don't have to add powder at all. If you have dry skin like me, you may not want to add powder. I do recommend this for dry skin. This is the Givenchy Prisme Libre Pressed Powder in the shade 03. I think this is a fantastic pressed powder for people who have dry skin. I don't use a lot. What I do, I take my powder puff, I go in, you know, you want to go into all three. So, all four of the quadrants. So you go around in a circle of motion, add it. Don't go in with all of this. Press it on the back of your hand. Then go in to the corner and press lightly. I like to come down a little bit because I like brightness. I like the front of my face to be, you know, kind of bright. All right, so let's do the other side again in a circle of motion. Take it, press on the back of your hand, the excess, then go into the corner and bring it out this way. And then I come down a little bit with mine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is take this part of the powder puff and I'm going to kind of just go over everything. Now, they do have finishing powders where you can use to just kind of make everything look like it's, you know, just blend everything together. But this is not a finishing powder, so you can use this part, but if you do, y'all, you see how I'm going very light pressure? Very light pressure. Just to diminish or to blur the edges of that blush. Okay, that looks good to me. Now, what else you can do is you can take your powder puff, and if you want to kind of define your bronzer, you can kind of, you know, just take your powder puff and do that. And you don't have to use a powder puff to do it. You can use your concealer brush to do it. What I like to do after I've done that, me personally, I like to take a powder brush, which this is not a powder brush. This is a big old powder brush. You don't have to use one this big, but I like to go back and blend that out. So it just won't look like it's a straight up line right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that looks good. All right, you guys, so what we're going to do, I'm going to use this blush to set Spice Latte. We're going to be using the Sonia G Soft Cheek to apply this blush. And as you can see, it's very pigmented. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up with the light hand. We're going to start with the light hand, and then we're going to work our way down. Okay? See how pigmented that is? And I like this brush because it has long bristles and it does not, you know, you won't apply too much. That's why it's called soft cheek, because it's going to give you a soft application. And the same thing for this side of your face. We're going to start up here. Since this blush is a little pigmented, work our way down. All right, that is really, really pretty. Going back with our powder blush. You can do this as much as you want. Going back with your powder puff. Press to blur the edges of that powder blush. Okay? And of course, if you want, you can always bring it down. So, let me bring y'all closer. Okay? It looks pretty good. Next, we're going to go in with highlighter, which I don't use highlighter too often. We're going to use it today, though, because a lot of people like highlighters. We're going to be using the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Skin Highlighter in the shade Lunar Nude. And what you want to do is you want to get your brush similar to this, or you can use a fan brush. I prefer this type of brush right here. And you just go into the product, tap it off, and go up here to the very top of your cheekbone and apply that highlighter. Now, if you like a very beaming highlighter situation, you don't really need to tap. Just go ahead and apply it. Because if you tap, you're going to tap some of it off. And you may not want that. You may want a little bit of a beaming situation. All right, so there's our highlighter. All right, so the next step, you guys, we're gonna do is brows. Let's go ahead and add the brow gel because I like my brows to look laminated. Yes, I do. This is the Refi brow gel. This is the best one in my opinion, y'all. I have not tried the Benefit, but I'm sorry, I have not tried the Rare Beauty one yet. I have heard great things about it, so I may try to get it the next time Sephora have their VIB sale. I like to take my finger and just lay them down flat. You can do it like that, or you can take this right here, which comes in. All you're doing is just pulling this off, the cap that comes with the gel, and you're just flattening your brows down. Okay. Next, you guys, I'm going to take this brush right here and I'm going to add a little bit of this brow pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills just to shape my brows. I like to use this end of this brush. This brush is so old, y'all. And just go into the pomade. That one is shade Ebony. I usually try to do the dark brown shade, but I had that one, so I was like, you know what, just go ahead and use it. And I've been using it ever since. I just had it laying around because I had been using the Benefit brow pencil. But I find that the Benefit brow pencil, I don't know, it works for me, but if I am, I need a bigger mirror, y'all. I gotta invest in me a bigger mirror that I can just sit right here instead of holding in my hand. But yeah, so what I was gonna say is that Benefit brow pencil, I think it's called Precisely My Brow. It works, but if I'm sweating a little bit, just a little bit, I find that it doesn't work too well for me. So, all right, y'all. So let's go ahead and kind of brush that product in. Now, if you have brows that are thinner than mine, you may have to do a few more steps than me. So next, y'all, I'm going to take this little teeny weeny brush right here. I got this from MAC. I love this brush. I got this from the cosmetic company store. It's a MAC brush. If I can find it, I'll put the type brush it is, like up here somewhere. But what we're going to do next, we're going to go into soft matte concealer. This one is in the shade Praline. And I'm just going to carve my brows out. This is something that I like to do. You don't have to necessarily do it. You don't need a lot. Just take a very small amount. And I like to start in the arch of my brow. And bring that over. And then I'll go back to the very beginning. And do the rest. And I will bring this down, flip my brush over, and then add the rest of the product that I have on the brush. Now, I like to take a concealer brush, preferably this one. This is the Nikki LaRose brush. And this is our I think this is the N16, yeah. And I'll take this and just go over. All right. And if you want your brows to look fluffy, all you do is just go back over your brows with the spoolie and just kind of brush them up. All right, you guys. So next, you guys, we're almost at the end, y'all. So next, we're gonna go ahead and do our eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow, y'all, you really don't have to use eyeshadow. If you are not feeling confident with your eyeshadow skills, no worries. Just take a bronzer. Take a fluffy blending brush. Go into your crease. This is your crease right here. And if you don't know where your crease is, let me I have to go into my eyes sometimes several times just to make sure I don't have any creasing going on. If you don't know where your crease is, I'm going to use this brush. Your crease is, all you have to do, go right here. This is your crease. And you don't even have to open your eye up any wider than that. You just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's it. And kind of maybe blend up the top portion of the eyeshadow. All right, y'all. So, but for today, what we're going to do, we are going to use eyeshadow. I want to show y'all the types of eyeshadows that I like to use when I am doing my eyeshadow most of the time. If I'm not reviewing an eyeshadow palette, most of the time, y'all, I am using either a bronzer or I'm using a neutral eyeshadow palette. I wanted to show y'all a few neutral eyeshadow palettes that I use most times from not reviewing an eyeshadow palette. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Sculpt. This is a really, really good one if you want to just go in your crease with a neutrally brown eyeshadow shade. Here is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is like one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes in the world. This is called the Super Nudes. Super Nudes Easy Eye Palette. And she has it pretty much just lined up for you, the directions on to how to use this palette. It's wonderful. And then I love this Patrick Ta. That's not the Patrick Ta that I was talking about. I love this Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette here. This is the volume 3, I think. Yeah, this is the Major Dimensions volume 3 matte eyeshadow palette. This is just an all matte eyeshadow palette. It has everything you need in here to do a very basic eyeshadow palette or do a very basic eyeshadow look. And lastly, this is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Defining Neutrals. This has all the neutral shades in here that you want. So, but what we're going to do today, we're going to make this really quick. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury palette. Y'all, I love this palette. Any chance I get to use this, I get so excited because it's just so simple. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to do anything complicated because this is just a tutorial to show you guys how to do a very basic makeup look step by step. All right, so I'm going to go in with this Super Neutrals palette, and I'm going to use this brush right here because this brush, I like it because you can use this brush as a flat shader brush to just pat down, put down product, and then you can also use it to blend product out. This is from Rougher, and this is the Rougher 01. I'm going to go into, this has a mirror on here though. I'm going to go into this dark brown shade. You kind of want to start with something just a little dark to define your crease or to, you know, contour your eye. So I'm going to go right into the crease like I was telling y'all, right? And I'm just going to put that down in my outer V. And just go all over the lid. Now, I can wipe this brush off so that I don't have to switch brushes out. Go back to the very top of where that eyeshadow stops, like right here where you all see me blending, and just blend that out. Just so that we don't have a line of demarcation right there. Okay. And I'm just going to blend that out, y'all. Blend it out as much as you possibly can. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flat brush like this and go into this shade right here. And right here where you don't see any product, I'm going to just add that. And kind of do like not a cut crease, y'all, because I can't do a cut crease, but I guess you want to call it a little fake cut crease. I mean, a little faux cut crease. I don't know. But you see how I just did that? Take your other brush that you just had and kind of blend that together. That's it. You are done. You are done. And if you wanted to, you can take a brush like this, go into this bright shade, or you can do this one. I'm going to do, let's go ahead and do this one. We don't want it to be too stark white. Right? Go into your inner corner highlight. Let's go into the white because that shade is not, it's not what I thought. I thought it was going to be like a cream. Okay? Go into your inner corner. Y'all, are y'all seeing this? Right? Y'all, that is it. That's it. I'm going to go back in here with my fluffy brush and go right over that, this shade here. All right, y'all. And so that is it, y'all. That is it. If you feel like you need to blend this out a little more, go ahead and blend it out, you know. But in my humble opinion, that's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye. All right, you guys. So next we have to do our eyeliner. This is going to be quick, y'all, because I have a eyeliner pencil that is a holy grail of mine. I use it for eyeliner and lip liner. This is the MAC eyeliner in the shade Coastal Ridge. And I'm just going to apply it to our lower lash line. Now, you can do you if you wanted to. I'm not going to do it today, though. Well, you can take your pencil up a little bit. You see how I just took that pencil up a little bit? And you can do a wing. I just need to find the right type of pencil brush. I'm going to use this brush right here. Let's see if this one is going to let us do it. So you could just pull that wing up a little bit. Nothing too fancy. See how that kind of adds a little bit of definition? And then, just to add a little bit more dimension, you can go back into whatever eyeshadow palette that you're using. Take kind of like a shade that's in between that dark shade and the light shade. So we're going to use this one, right? And I'm going to kind of smoke this liner out a little bit. Now, that's just something that I like to do. And this Super Nudes palette by Charlotte Tilbury is perfect for doing stuff like that because the consistency of the shadows are cream. This is kind of like a cream to powder type of formula. So I just love, 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 love this palette, y'all. All right, so the next step, you guys, we're going to add some mascara. I really don't wear mascara like that, but I do like to add a little bit sometimes in my lower lash line, on my lower lash line. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'll tell y'all this mascara that I'm using here in just one moment. I have to kind of concentrate when I'm doing this so that I won't get mascara all over the place, because I do have very, very thin, sparse lower lashes. Just lashes, period. I don't really have a lot of lashes. Mainly because, well, my lower lashes, I don't know what the problem is with those, but my eyelashes, I don't have a lot because I wear falsies almost every day. And y'all gonna see in a minute the way that I apply my glue. The way that I put them on. See, I messed up already. It's probably because this brush is so big, but anyway, I love to wear mascara on my lower lash line. Oh my God, it just gives you the prettiest doll eyes. All right, y'all. So for lashes, we're going to be using the House of Lashes. These are the iconic Demi lashes. Let's go ahead and get these on. And so the way that I apply my glue, I do it in a way that is very quick. I've been doing this for years, so y'all don't talk about me too bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply. I like to use the lash glue that has the brush because it's easier for me. And I just apply it straight to my lash line. And I know it's not good for my real lashes. I know that. But this works for me. And it's very quick. So there's that. And I'm not really concerned about growing any lashes right now anyway, because I like false lashes too much. Even if I had some lashes, I would probably still be wearing false lashes. So, all right, so let's go ahead and add these falsies right quick. And these are just the half lashes, y'all, if I didn't say that. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and line our lips and apply the Coastal Rich. Never, ever, ever, ever stirs me wrong. Never stirs me wrong. It's my holy grail, okay? All right, so let's apply the Coastal Rich liner. And this is an eyeliner, y'all. It's not a lip liner. So the way that I like to do mine, y'all, I like to define my Cupid's bow. And I know that I already have full lips. I don't care. I still like to overline it. Okay. And I overline the Cupid's bow, and then I go inside the line for the rest of my lips, because it just gives you more of a pouty look. And then I take my finger and kind of blend it out a little bit right on the edges. The inside edges, not the outside. Now, if you're a person that does not wear lip liner or lip gloss, because I'm gonna do a lip combo, you use whatever type of lip product that you like. All right, so for gloss, you guys, we are going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Plump Gasm Big Lip. This right here. This is my favorite. This is the Big Lip Plump Gasm by Charlotte Tilbury in nude. Now, I'm going to do an extra step for y'all today since we are doing a tutorial. If you want a little bit of, because this is going to be kind of like clear. It has a little bit of nude, but not a lot. You know, it's not like, you know, not like you're going to have like, it's not going to be the same as adding a nude lipstick and then applying it over. So I'm going to add a little bit of a nude lip right in the center of my lips. And this is just an old nude lip gloss. I mean lipstick, y'all. I don't even know what the name of it is. It's so old. But you want to add something nude or very light, a very light shade of a nude type of lip product. And then I'm going to go on top with my Big Lip Plump Gasm and go right in the center of your lips. You don't have to go over the liner too much, because I have found that the more I go over the liner, the quicker that it goes away. All right, you guys, so this is the finished look. Let's go ahead and spray some setting spray. This is going to be your last step. So yeah, you guys, this is the finished look. I hope that you guys love it, because I love it. I need to really be going somewhere and I'm not. If you don't want to add setting spray, that's fine. You don't have to. I find this is the best setting spray that I have used. This is a good one. This is the Cali Ray. Their setting spray is good as well. MAC Fix Plus is really not a setting spray. The MAC Fix Plus, to me, what I find is that it has different purposes. However, the most effective way that I've seen to use this is to, like, if you're feeling like your makeup is looking very powdery, this will fix that and stop it from looking so powdery. If you want to, if you're using like a product or a cream product that's kind of stiff, you spray a little bit of this on it, it'll help move it around a little better. It just has a lot of different purposes, but I love it. I would not be without it. All right, you guys. So yeah, what do you guys think? I really like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that this video helps you to understand how to better do your makeup. I hope it gives you, the steps that you need and to show you the order of operations involved in applying your makeup. I'm going to include a PDF copy that shows you a step-by-step process that I go by in this video. It'll be linked in the description. All right, you guys. So that's it. A simple step-by-step makeup look that anyone can do. If you found this video helpful or valuable in any way, please do not hesitate to go ahead and leave me a big thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Come on and join the family. We would love to have you here. We do makeup, we do perfume, and then every now and then we throw in some lifestyle. I want to thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.